This player right here could be the most underrated offseason addition for the San Francisco 49ers that no one is really talking about. I really haven't heard a lot said about Yetur Gross Matos. Now, this was a signing that was kind of under the radar because Leonard Floyd was kind of the cherry on top of the entire free agency class for the San Francisco 49ers in 2024. But this player right here, he could be a potentially more impactful than anyone is really anticipating. When you look at the 6'5, 265-pound defensive end out of Penn State, he was a former second round draft pick, 38th overall in 2020. He's 26 years old. So he was drafted into the league pretty young, and he is heading into his prime right now. But when you look at the overall production and what he's been able to do up until this point, 79 total pressures over 4 years, 15 sacks, and 48 quarterback hurries, you see the trend where this guy could be a big time impact for the San Francisco 49ers. And I just don't want to talk about it. I want to show you. I want to show some actual film of the guy to kind of express even further the point of why I believe Yetur Gross Matos right now is the most underrated player that the 49ers have signed that no one is talking about. And this includes the draft class as well, because obviously you're going to see right here what he looks like as a stand-up rusher and what he is able to do to get off the block. But what I look at is these types of reps where he's able to win over the guard in pass rushing situations. You're going to be able to see as you can see him push the pocket right there, but you're also going to be able to see what he's able to bring to this 49ers defensive line in the run game. Obviously, you get paid for sacks. That is the premier stat for a defensive lineman. And you can see right there how quickly he beats the left tackle, gets to the inside. And you can start to get a sense of how he's creating pressure and forcing the quarterback to move off reads because he's flashing so quickly. And you could see the power, the speed to power that he's able to generate. And he's not too slow either. So he is a bit of an interesting player because I don't look at Yetur Gross Matos as your prototypical speed rusher. He's kind of a tweener. He has this ability to have some speed, but I don't think he has that high end gear of some guys like even his teammate at the time, Brian Burns. But where I do find him to be extremely intriguing is in the versatility aspect of being able to play the wide nine, so outside the tight end, but also being able to kick all the way inside to the three tech over the guard and maybe even play some zero over the center as well. I think Yetur Gross Matos is a versatile player. And I think that's what the San Francisco 49ers saw in him. One of the best attributes that he brings to the table is his ability to be an edge setter in the run game. We saw that Cleveland Farrell had a ton of success with the San Francisco 49ers in that regard. And when he got hurt and was out for the playoffs, you really felt that Cleveland wasn't there because the teams like the Detroit Lions in the playoffs were just able to bounce outside without any issue. So what I see Yetur bringing to the table is the ability to be a legitimate edge setter in the base downs. When I say base downs, I'm saying first down, second down, and his ability to be able to stop the run, to set up those money downs, which is the ability to get sacks, pressures, and be disruptive in the passing game. So with Yetur, obviously, you have Leonard Floyd. And Leonard Floyd, rightfully so, has been kind of the gem of the entire conversation regarding the free agent class and even the draft class. He's been kind of the biggest addition. But to me, Yetur Gross Matos is the most underrated. And I think he could find a ton of success being paired with Chris Kosurik and playing that Charles O'Menihue, Arden Key role. And we know how much success both of those guys have had. And that's why I think he got the contract that he got, which was pretty sizable considering what he's been able to produce up until this point. But I think the 49ers see the vision. I at first when I heard it, I was kind of like, I'm a big Brian Burns guy. So I wanted speed. Speed, speed, and more speed. We got that in the form of Leonard Floyd. And when we signed Yetur Gross Matos, I was like, he doesn't have that gear that I was talking about earlier in the video. But after I kind of let myself think about this, watch the tape, and realize, wait a second, we just got a juiced up Arden Key, Charles Omenihu type. And we've seen how much success those types of guys have had in this system. And with the Eric Armstead kind of exodus, that opens up that pass rushing slot from the interior. That's what Eric Armstead excelled at, in my opinion, as a pass rusher, was playing over the guards. His long arms, his ability to be able to swim, swipe, do all those different things to get off shorter armed guards. That is where I see Yetur Gross Matos being able to have success as a pass rusher. But again, you see these clips of him setting the edge. So, first, second down, I could totally see him out there with the starters across from Nick Bosa doing this, tracking down running backs, making sure no one bounces outside, forces everything back to the middle, to your Fred Warners, to your Hargraves, send it back to the center. That's the whole point of edge contain. So I see I see a versatile player. And again, I see a guy who can make an impact hugely, not only as an edge setter in the run game, but a pass rusher from the interior. And you can see in some of the clips, he can rush the passer from the outside. I mean, you see that clip, the kind of rip underneath, be able to get the edge and hit the corner. He can do it. It's not that he can't, but I think his versatility that he brings to this defensive line is going to be a massive asset that I just don't feel like has gotten enough hype. I really do think that this Yetur to me has become my favorite addition of this offseason draft and free agency included because I think he's plug and play. I think he's a guy who's going to fill a need, a massive need, and we get that versatile chess piece that we can kind of develop for a couple years. He's not one and out, right? Like we've seen Arden Key wasn't here for that long. Charles Omenihu wasn't here for that long. The 49ers signed Yetur Gross Matos to a multi-year deal. So I do think there is a chance that he could find a home with this team and really make a substantial impact. And I just want to continue to highlight him because I think when we get into training camp, when the pads come on, we're really going to be able to decipher all of this. Right now with OTAs, it's 7-on-7. There's no contact. It's really hard to discern this. So for me, my target training camp pads, what is Yetur Gross Matos going to do when those pads come on? How are the 49ers going to implement him into this defensive line rotation, which it is a rotation? They aren't stagnant with guys. They like to get fresh legs on the field consistently. And we've seen what Chris Kosurik has been able to do with guys with Yetur Gross Matos' skill set. So for me, that's why I'm super, super high on him. And I'm excited. I think he could potentially make just as significant of an impact as Leonard Floyd, maybe even more, because, like we talked about, if he is playing base downs and kicking inside in pass rushing situations, he could be on the field more than Leonard Floyd. But we're going to have to see how it all plays out. That's obviously best case scenario of how he implements into this defensive line. But we're going to have to see. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Are there other additions that the 49ers made that you're more excited about? Would love to see what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.